Strider started back in the 80s as an action arcade game. Now Double Helix has brought it to the modern era to kind of combine the action slashing nature of the original Strider with the Metroidvania design that we kind of see today with 2.5D platformers. There's plenty of sword slashing, there's plenty of platforming, there's plenty of boss fights as well. But your main goal is to navigate the world and collect power-ups to make Strider that much more of a badass ninja that he's meant to be. For the most part this works. Double Helix has made some intricate level design but not making it too complex like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It's a lot more streamlined in the sense that instead of having one giant world, the hub is separated into smaller chunks that you can navigate, which is then broken up by loading screens, which can disrupt the flow but not by too much. Navigation remains simple because of Strider's agile movement, and as you power up Strider as you go along the game, you get not only you're more capable of handling bad guys, but as you can see here, I'm gliding in midair. You're able to make leaps of faith that you weren't able to do at the start of the game. Combat is competent, but it gets repetitive, as there's no real reward of fighting bad guys after a while. There's no XP system to grind, and that's not how you level up. So the only reason why you're fighting bad guys is just for the sake of it, or to get back health and energy you might have used in an earlier battle. Boss fights make it that much worse due to an oversight where when Strider's knocked down, he remains vulnerable to damage even though you can't do anything about it, and that gets infuriating after a while. But the speed of Strider makes it a very satisfying experience when you're slashing through robots, taking out waves of enemies, and then little bits of health and energy are bursting all over the place. It has that nice visual aesthetic to it, which is compromised by kind of bland backgrounds, making the environment a little boring to explore, even though the level design remains interesting enough in its own right. Double Helix has done a pretty good job with Strider, but they could have went further. It's kind of my first Metroidvania, in that the good sides is the levels are quite spacious and the map is very well explained and easy to organise, but with the arrow at the top right hand corner of the screen, as you can see just now, always pointing you in the direction you need to go, it becomes quite linear after a while when you realise that exploration doesn't really become worth it, thanks to being pretty competent in taking care of most of the enemies without the major upgrades. Items you need, like different swords and different power-ups that require you to navigate the world, you'll get just by doing the story and following that arrow. The extra stuff like extra health, extra energy, that really doesn't come into play that much except for the difficult boss fights. Strider's able to cling on walls, making the platforming and exploration be able to go around the entire map. You don't have to look for an obscure ledge, you can just hook onto the wall and you're good to go. Which can make exploration entertaining, but again, the rewards enough are not there. Collecting little boxes for concept art is just not really worth it in my opinion. All in all, Strider is a fairly well made but pretty safe game. It doesn't take any real chances with the genre, it doesn't take any real chances with itself either, with its own heritage. It just kind of reminds you that Strider existed back in the day and that it's still a fun game to play. And I guess that's okay in itself, but I kind of hope for more, and there's definitely room for growth here. Unfortunately, Double Helix can't do it since they've now gone to Amazon Games, but hopefully in the future we can see a Strider game which kind of focuses either more on the exploration or more on the action side. Either way, we can have a better game rather than this confused identity we have right now. The Xbox 360 version has the trial that you can play for free. Xbox One, it's $11.99. I think it's slightly overpriced and you may want to wait for a sale. And that's Strider. Hope you liked it.